Hey everybody, welcome to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Eldrazi Taxes. This deck won the Grand Prix over the weekend in the hands of Joe So, and I wanted to give it a shot. Now we've mulliganed to 6 here, and this hand I think I'm going to keep. Obviously we have to bottom that. Now it's super iffy, but we're on the draw, and we have the Relic. So we have another way to hit a land drop on turn 2. And the rest of this hand is so good. If we just find land in the top 2 cards of our deck, or really the top 3 cards of our deck, and it can go Tidehole or into Strangler, that's insane. Now, as it turns out, that's not what happened. But I think that the odds are with us there, because this hand was so good against a creature deck. And that's what the deck's good against. And even if it wasn't a creature deck, we'd have Inquisition and Tidehole or Scholar if we find a land. So, and our opponent on the Hierarch, so... You know, the pieces are here. This is exactly the matchup we want. This is the hand we want for the matchup, as long as we can find a land here on top of our deck. Here we go. Alright, that's not a land. See if we can find one with this draw. Okay, also not a land. Well, we might lose. It looks bad if I keep this hand and we never draw a land and we lose, but I've played a lot of Magic and I've played a lot of big tournaments and talked to pros about this sort of thing a lot, and sometimes it's calculated risk and sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. I covered a Pro Tour Finals. For those who don't know, I do coverage for Wizards of the Coast when I'm not losing at Modern on YouTube. But I covered a Pro Tour Finals where one player mulled down and he kept a 0 land hand because he was playing the blue-red Thopter deck. This was Magic Origins, and it was a very synergy-reliant deck. And he had it was right after they introduced the Scry rule, and he kept a hand where if the so this is close to being good, not quite though. It's a start though, but he kept a hand where if there was land in the top 2 cards of his deck because he got a Scry, he very well could win the game. Collected Company, huh? Sure. I imagine if we just companied Scholar to... Oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. So, what is this? Kiki Chord with Devoted Druid Vizier combo? Blue, green, red, white? Let's see if he has it. Probably does. Anyways, my point is, that was the finals of a Pro Tour. That player obviously was very good at Magic, much better than you or I. And, he made that decision. And sometimes it's just the right decision. And in this game, if it had been in the top 2 cards of our deck, I think we win easily. If it had been in the top 3 cards of our deck, we might win. Alright, I'm not trying to slow roll my opponent here, but he does actually have to show me a win condition. He needs a Chord or a... yeah, it looks like he's got it. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, let's see what we got here. Kalita seems pretty good. Brutality seems pretty good. Liliana seems pretty good. Smasher seems less good. We're definitely playing the Controller out here. The Lingering Souls are not quite as good. And we don't know. I'm kind of guessing he doesn't have the full-on combo. The full-on, like, all the abs and combos based on the colors we saw there. So, I don't think we need the Graveyard Hate as much. I actually kind of want to Surgical him. You can kind of just get him with Surgical sometimes. Yeah, this hand seems fine. We know what we need. We have the right cards to do it. He knows nothing. He saw Plains Eldrazi Temple, and Relic. So, he should be able to figure out what we're playing, but... Man, the mana base in this deck is so awkward. I'm keeping this because it has removal plus a turn 3 Thought Knot. So I can either play to draw another Temple to play this, or I can play the Caves of Koilos to draw a land that casts a Solar. So I'll do that. That seems more likely. This deck won the Grand Prix. I'm not questioning how good it is, but I've had a lot of really awkward hands. You're playing things like Tidehole or Scholar, and then you're playing 8 colorless lands. It's just a little rough. Also, the deck has no Eldrazi Displacer, which is still, just kind of blows my mind, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm missing anything when it comes to the deck, but like as to why it looks the way it does. But I will say that this mana base has caused some problems in my testing here. Oh, he's playing Knightfall with the combo. Well, that's pretty good. Well, let's thought not and find out what's going on. Huh. Okay, so he's got Eternal Witness, Reflector Mage, and Quasali Pride Mage. I guess I take the Reflector Mage. The Witness, or the Pride Mage isn't going to kill anything. The Witness is good, obviously. Maybe I just take the Witness. Well, the thing is, if I take the Witness, he just bounces with Reflector Mage and mainly gets his value. I'll just do this and hope that he doesn't actually have anything good to Witness back right now, just a land. He can Witness back Horizon Canopy, but that's pretty slow. And we can play Lingering Souls next turn and maybe start beating him down a little bit. I don't know if we're advantaged or not in the matchup. I certainly feel like we are, and this is the kind of deck our deck is good against. But giving up game one the way we did is not very great. Now you can see all this free scry value going on too. So while I think we're favored in the matchup, I'm actually not sure if we're favored in this particular match. He's kind of going off over here. Fetch land scry value. He puts it on the bottom. Okay. Guess that's good for us. There's a Pride Mage. Okay. Still can't attack us. Alright, there we go with the swamp. Okay, so now... Oh, awkward though, because he actually can Pride Mage our Tideholder Scholars. I guess that's kind of fine though. Like, honestly, I want him to do that. So, let's go ahead and play the Mutavault, or attack with the Mutavault and the Thought Knot. I mean, that's honestly something of a trade I'm fine making. If he wants to... Well, the thing is, if he... Maybe it's not. Because he could Pride Mage... Like, if we Scholar, he takes Witness. Or we take Witness, and then he Pride Mages our Scholar, then he gets to recast the Witness. And get back the Pride Mage, and that's not very good for us. Honestly, I may end up just pathing the Pride Mage, which is weird. So maybe it would have been better to play Lingering Souls this turn. Oh, now this is a gift, though. He's going to trade the Pride Mage with the Mutavault because he thinks he's going to Witness it back, but we're actually going to play the Scholar here and just take his Witness away. Well, them's the beats. He drew Witness off the top of his deck. That's unfortunate. Yep, this is quite the value he's getting now. That's rough. That's pretty hard to deal with. I guess the good news here is he doesn't have the mana to do it. If he actually plays the Witness and plays the Pride Mage, then we could path it. And I guess that would actually be pretty good for us if that was what transpired. Even if he just Witnesses it back now, then we can Tideholder Scholar it out of his hand. Interesting the way this is played out here. Let's see if he goes for it. I bet he will. Yep. Well, this works out too, because we can just Tideholder Scholar it. Temple, huh? Does that matter? It doesn't look like it matters. Alright, let's attempt to move to combat here. Ooh, we actually get to attack. Alright, Thought Knot beats. Opponent's actually already down to 9 with this, if he takes it. Which he does. Okay, so we got him to 9. We will Scholar the next one away. Or Scholar the Pride Mage away here. Alright, so now he's top decking. And next turn we get to attack with Mutavault and Thought Knot, depending on what his draw is, and play Lingering Souls. Of course, he can crack Canopy. Alright, well. I think if it was a land, he'd play it to get Scry, so it's probably bad for us. This, however, might be good for us. I don't actually want to mess with attacking with the Mutavault here. I want to hold up. I want to be able to path Dismember and Lingering Souls. Alright, get in with Thought Knot. Hopefully, anyways. Bet he has removal. Is it odd? Yeah, this is odd. He draw Cord or something. May have just drawn Cord. Nope, okay. Well, that's kind of weird. Alright, well, I feel like I should Lingering Souls here. We can't have both Path and Dismember up, but I like keeping... obviously, we want the pressure and we want Dismember up, so... And here comes the Cord. And we'll see how bad it is for us. Sacks the Canopy. What's... Or no, there's X, whatever, okay. X equals 3. So it's probably just an Eternal Witness. Oh, it's an Either Reliquary. Whoa, why didn't I get a... Thought I was going to get priority in my Instep there. Guess we get a... Oh, this is so dumb. We don't even get to because of that now. You've got to be kidding me, deck. He gets to sack his Horizon Canopy and not die. Because I thought we were getting priority in our Instep and we don't. Or not. Okay. Well, he's going to Company, so... He's drawn real well here, that's for sure. He went E-Witness into Court into Company, but I guess we're not dead. Okay, if he'd sacked Horizon Canopy there, he could have just gone off. But as it is, we're actually not dead. I guess it's because we didn't have a stop set in our Instep. So, lesson learned there. Well, we're on the, looks like we're on the Spirit Beatdown plan. Ooh, or the Smasher Beatdown plan. As a matter of fact, I think we have Lethal. Well, maybe we don't because of the Windswept Heath Retreat to Coral Helm, but... Alright, so it looks like we want to attack and then path in the attack step before blocks here. Oh, he's going to let us come in with the team. I think we swing with everything, right? Because we get rid of this, and then even if he, say, blocks both of these, he still dies. So, yeah, we'll just swing with the team. Okay, well, we could have died there. We could have got punished for clicking through our Instep, but we didn't. So that's pretty good, because that game felt like we were on the back foot for sure. Okay. I think I'm actually on this Thoughtseize plan now, especially being on the draw here over the Surgical. I like the idea of, Inquisitioning and Surgicaling one of his good cards, but we almost punted that game, but we got there in the end. Caught a small break. Although, to be fair, I always look at paper Magic's equivalent of Magic Online. I say we caught a break because our opponent missed that, but in paper, that mistake's never going to happen. I'm never going to click through my instep in a paper game. So now this one I can get on board with for sure. So it looks like he has the Mana Dork. So what I really want to do is rip Wasteland Strangler off the top here. God, the Shrine's pretty decent. Better than the Caves. I'll Inquisition him and see what we're dealing with here. Alright, well he's got Company and Mana Dorks, so it looks like we take the Duskwatch. Next turn, Tideholder Scholar away the Company. Try to keep him off of big mana plays here. Or rather, big board impacting plays. He certainly got a lot of mana though, so that's a thing. Alright, Drew Kessick Wolfrun. Okay, so things are looking pretty good here. We tore apart their hand exactly as we're supposed to do with this deck. We don't currently have a play. We're going to get beat down a little bit by the birds coming in for 2. And he can even start Kessicking it, right? He can even Kessick for 1 here. What just going to do? We could just die to the beatdown. Yeah, we're going to take 3 damage. Losing the race as it currently stands. Collective Brutality, huh? Well, I guess we play it because we have nothing else to do this turn. And I'll even discard one of these Kalitas. Don't think we need 2 of the legendary creature. May as well get some life back since, weirdly, this could be some sort of beatdown game on both sides here. And, the brutality, the discard mode is just really unlikely to be relevant. And we're tapping out next turn anyways, so, there's just no reason not to drain there. Especially since we're kind of beating. We're just poking in for 2 and hopefully 3 or 4 after this. Unfortunately, our opponent rips pure gold every turn, and that's a Ballista. Okay, well, hopefully he shoots down the Tideholder Scholar now, which he's going to make the mistake of doing. So now we actually get a Thought Knot, that Company. Doesn't mean we're not going to die to this thing, but... Ballista was a pretty sweet draw for him. Now that, the thing is, we have, like, actual infinite cards to deal with it in our deck. There's Pass, Fatal Pushes. I guess that would have reason to hold the Brutality, right? But there's no way we're going to do that. Because we always wanted to play 4-drop here. Let's see what he ripped off the top this time, though. I don't know how to beat these top decks. Oh, man. Even the game we won, he's top deck great. Yep. Well, this is all a problem. We'll get in there, because if he wants to trade these 2 cards for my Thought Knot, I'm fine with that, because his Duskwatch is going to get him cards anyway, so I imagine he just takes this. Jump block's an interesting strategy. Okay. Guess it maybe makes some sense. Alright, we get the Kalidas in here. Alright, does he... Gosh, even if he doesn't draw land, he's just got so much value now. Injured. I mean, land's actually good for him at this point. Yeah, if I were him, I would have taken the damage there because, you know, the idea of just putting counters on the Walking Ballista and then using 2 damage from the Witness on our Thought Knot and then Ballistaing it next turn actually would have made attacks really awkward for us. We might be dead here, though. I think the only hope we have is that he, like, drew something uncastable and then we get a Thought Knot it. But we're in trouble regardless. He hasn't cast a spell this turn, so he may flip this thing. Hope he's just activating it because he's about to... No, he just... Okay. We'll draw a land, huh? If I do that, I can't cast Thought Knot. Alright, so we'll get in with these guys. If he messes up and tries to... Well, he doesn't even have a double block option now because the Eternal Witness is gone. Maybe it was correct to swing with the... No, it's correct to just play Thought Knot here and just apply as much pressure as we can next turn. I don't feel great about this game. Duskwatch makes everything very good for him. But it is what it is, so let's go ahead and play out our Thought Knot. I hope that we can beat him down next turn. Kill him. Alright, let's hope he just whiffs on everything here. He's got 3, like, just nothing but lands, maybe? We're also dead if he finds Vizier. If he finds Vizier of Remedies in his top 6 cards, we're dead. 7 because of the draw. Oh, he put them all on bottom. It's actually a full width there. Alright, well... Alright, one more time. One more try. Spin that wheel. Puts Devoted Druid into the hand. Okay. Not dead. Okay, we win, I guess. Alright, well, he wasn't dead either, though. That doesn't make sense. All he needed to do was keep Devoted Druid and not die. He could just chump block... Oh, he couldn't, actually. He'd have to... That was actually kind of greedy on his part, to be honest. Because, like, as long as he keeps Duskwatch and Devoted Druid, he's a Vizier away from winning. So, if instead of activating that last one there, he had just decided to chump block with his mana dorks and do it all at the end of our turn, he would have given us one more draw, but also given himself, like, multiple more draws. He only had to block 3 of our guys, so he could have blocked with Ballista, Hierarch, Bird. Activated Duskwatch twice at the end of our... Oh, but he couldn't because it would flip. That's pretty awkward. And then he completely whiffed on his top 3 cards. So, we got a little fortunate there. That's for sure. He ripped like crazy in that game until when it mattered and he couldn't find the answer. That was rough. That was a weird game. That deck is very, very good, to be honest. Making a splash in Modern, it's easy to see why. So, all right, good match. That was... Whew, that was something.